They never planned for her to be strong. She was supposed to be protected, guided, rescued. But life doesn't always follow plans, and when everything collapsed, it didn't ask if she was ready. It simply walked away. In a house filled with fear, unpaid bills, and broken dreams, a young daughter stood where no one else would. While the world looked the other way, she carried responsibilities heavier than her age, heavier than her heart. This is not just a story of survival. This is the story of a daughter who became her family's backbone. She wasn't born into strength. She grew into it, slowly, painfully, and without applause. There was a time when her only responsibility was school books and small dreams. A time when laughter came easily and the future felt distant. But life has a way of arriving early, uninvited, and unforgiving. One day, the adults she depended on couldn't hold the weight anymore. Some were lost to illness, some were lost to fear, some were present, but broken. And suddenly, the foundation cracked. When the family needed someone to stand firm, they didn't look to her. No one did. But she stepped forward anyway. She became the alarm clock before sunrise, the problem solver before panic, the quiet strength holding everyone together while her own heart learned how to stay silent. She learned quickly that courage doesn't always roar. Sometimes it whispers, "Get up. They need you." Every morning, she woke up carrying the invisible title no one gave her: provider, protector, planner, and emotional anchor. She learned how to stretch a small income into meals, how to turn worry into reassurance, how to smile when her chest felt heavy. She watched her friends live carefree lives while she calculated expenses in her head. While others complained about minor problems, she negotiated survival. And yet, she never complained. Because she believed something deeply. If I don't hold this family together, who will? There were nights she cried quietly, so no one would hear. Nights when fear sat beside her like an unwelcome guest, reminding her that she was too young for this responsibility. But morning always came, and she always rose. She didn't become strong because she wanted to. She became strong because she had no choice. People praised her resilience without seeing the cost. They called her mature for her age, without realizing that maturity was forced upon her. They admired her calm, without knowing how many storms lived inside her. She learned how to make decisions without guidance, how to carry guilt for things that were never her fault, how to stay standing while everything else felt like it was falling apart. Still, she stayed. She stayed when walking away would have been easier. She stayed when exhaustion begged her to stop. She stayed because family isn't always about comfort. It's about commitment. And in doing so, she rewrote what strength looks like. Strength wasn't loud. It wasn't dramatic. It was a daughter showing up every single day, even when she was tired, scared, and unseen. Over time, her sacrifices began to shape her. She developed a backbone forged not from privilege, but from pressure. She became someone who could endure uncertainty without breaking, someone who could carry others without losing herself completely. And something powerful happened along the way. She realized she was capable of leadership, capable of resilience, capable of building a future from ruins. The same girl who once felt overwhelmed now understood her own worth. She learned that being the backbone didn't mean being unbreakable. It meant bending without giving up. It meant choosing love over resentment, responsibility over escape. But here's the truth most people miss. Strong women still need rest. Brave daughters still deserve care. And one day, she made a promise to herself. I will carry my family, but I will not disappear. She began setting boundaries, dreaming again, believing that her life mattered too. She understood that her strength was not meant to trap her, it was meant to lift her higher. She didn't abandon her family. She didn't turn cold. She simply learned that saving others should never require losing yourself. Today, when people look at her, they see confidence, stability, power. They don't see the nights she went without sleep. They don't see the fear she swallowed whole. They don't see the childhood she quietly gave up. But she remembers. And instead of bitterness, she carries pride. Because she knows something the world often forgets. Families don't survive on luck alone. They survive because someone stands up when everything is falling apart. And in her story, that someone was a daughter. Not because she was asked, not because she was ready, but because she was brave enough to become what her family needed most, a backbone. Some heroes wear crowns, some carry weapons, but the strongest heroes are often daughters, who hold entire families together while quietly learning how to stand on their own.